Okay, so welcome everyone to the second Sunday social session of the National Radio Society of Ireland, NRSI. This weekend, we're extremely fortunate and happy to have with us Sangita and her friends from India. Welcome, Sangita.
Thank you.
Sangita, do you mind me asking, when did you first get interested in, amateur radio or radio as a hobby generally?
Okay. First of all, hello everyone. I hope I'm audible to each one of you. So very good evening and greetings from India. Namaskar. First of all, thank you, Mark and David and NRSI for giving me this opportunity to be part of this NRSI platform and share my little experience with all of you. And before going to question answer round, I would quickly introduce myself in brief because most of you don't know me very well. So my handle is Sangita Ghosh and my call sign is Victor Uniform 3 Zulu India Hotel. My home gatewage is Kolkata, which is basically former capital of India and current capital of West Bengal state. So I live here. And I have completed my graduation in English literature. After that, I completed diploma in social work and community service. And then I have completed Master of Arts in sociology. So this is all about my academic qualification. And after that, currently I am associated with a global NGO named Save the Children India. And I'm working over there as a project coordinator based in West Bengal project office. So this is all about me in brief. And coming to back your question, Mark, until 2019, I didn't have any idea about amateur radio. I didn't hear about it. In 2019, one of the colleagues of my husband is an advocate by profession. So one of his colleagues who is practicing amateur radio for last few years, and he has contributed to many disasters using his radio equipments. So he shared his experience with us with this beautiful, noble hobby. And me and my husband both found it very interesting. We became very curious and decided to explore more about amateur radio. So we got enrolled in Indian Academy of Communication and Disaster Management. And we completed the ASOC exam in India. You have to pass out the exam, amateur station operator certificate examination. You have to pass out this examination to get your license. So both of us completed that exam. And after that, finally, we got our ticket. We got our license in the month of January 2020. So that's how we got associated with amateur radio in the year 2020.
In that case, you've answered probably one of my next questions, Sangita, which was actually, did you have family members involved? So obviously your husband is involved and you train together. Did you find that helpful when you were training together?
Absolutely. It was helpful because there was a sharing platform, cross-learning between us. Whatever, actually, I'm very much interested in communication and he is very much, fond of technology. So whatever lack is both of us, we try to, overcome it through sharing and cross-learning. So it was really helpful.
It sounds like a good combination, actually, that, the two of you working together. Right. It's fantastic.
Right.
Yeah. And I suppose, do you sort of regularly argue over who gets to use the radio in the house?
Not at all, because both of us are working. So most of the time we spend outside, and at night we get, spare time to invest for radio. So we have VHF radio as of now, and we're planning to install the HF radio very soon. So yes, both of us almost spend equal time in radio. But I spend most of the time in Ecolink more than VHF. So, yeah.
And I suppose one question that actually springs to mind naturally as a result of what you just said. So you say that you operate on a lot of VHF, I believe, over there. So are you doing sort of more simplex VHF, radio to radio, or are you using repeaters in your area? And if so, are they connected to Echolink?
Yes. Actually, I'm the member, me and my husband, both are the members of West Bengal Radio Club. So we have a repeater there, which is very near to our house, around 20 kilometers. So there is a repeater in our club, and we have the club members. Each one has the VHF radio in their home QTH. So all are connected through the repeater of West Bengal Radio Club.
Brilliant. Wonderful. And how many members would you have in the club, in your local club?
Right. So first of all, I'd like to let you know that West Bengal Radio Club was first was established in the year 2010, and it was founded by OM Ambarish Nath Bishwas, who is a very experienced and eminent ham in India. So he founded this organization, and he's the secretary of the club. So currently we have near about 80 members who are active in one and another way with radio and related activities. Yeah, near about 80.
Brilliant, absolutely wonderful. And are there many sort of young people involved in that club, or ladies, YLs?
Yes, regarding ladies, I would say the number is very less in comparison to male amateur radio operators, but we try to engage more youths with our club. One of the purpose of our activities is engaging more youths with radio activities. And due to JFA, I told about the founder, Ambarish Nath Bishwas. His call sign is Victor Uniform 2 Juliet Foxtrot Alpha. So JFA always tries to engage more young population with this hobby. So wonderful. Yes, there are many young people.
I think it's a very important thing to actually bring young people. It's the only way of keeping the hobby alive, really, by having young
people. Absolutely.
Now, I suppose, are there any sort of interesting activities that yourself or the club have actually undertaken in either the last few months or even post-pandemic? Because obviously for the last 2 years we've been tied up, but any interesting activities that took place?
Yes, I can share about the activities we have done in 2020 and 2021, last 2 years. Actually, West Bengal Radio Club conduct different kind of activities around the year. So although in last 2 years it is a little bit restricted due to COVID, but we have done quite a lot of activities. One of the activities was election duty. So last year, during the state assembly election of West Bengal state, we received a request from district administration to support them through emergency communication to receive the polling updates from the remote locations. Like there are some remote villages, coastal villages in islands where mobile network are not available, and government can't access any information during polling. So we were divided in groups, and I was stationed in the main control room of the headquarters, and I was supporting the senior hams also. So we are divided in groups, and we're connected with the sub-controls. We gather the information directly from field, also through the sub-controls, and then provided it to district administration. so that they can, be updated regarding the polling information.
Absolutely brilliant.
It is one of the activities, and another activities I would like to mention, Gangashagar Mela, Gangashagar Fair. It is one of the largest fair in the world, and it is a religious place. So lakhs of people come over here to visit the island and take a holy bath during a religious, particular religious, festival called Makar Sankranti. So lakhs of people gather over here, and they just get lost, because most of the people come from marginalized community. They are very poor. They don't have any mobile phones with them. And most of them come with, travel agents. So people get lost in the fair, and we set up our main control room in the island. Basically, it's an IOTA communication. So we get the special call sign for this activity from Government of India. And we just find those people who get disconnected from their family and friends, and then we reunite them with their families. So I was part of this operation in 2020, and every year we do this. And for both of these activities, we get, recognition and appreciation from the local government. So it is very wonderful experience for us. And another little experience I'd like to mention, which is my personal area of interest, is receiving SSTV images from ISS, International Space Station, using your radio. I find it very interesting. So I did it last year a couple of times, and I got many certificates from different amateur radio clubs. There are lots of activities, but yeah, I have shared regarding some recent activities in last 2 years.
It's wonderful, and especially like it's okay. The ISS, fantastic, absolutely brilliant. Well done. Now, I even know that you initially studied your amateur radio, I think, in the Indian Academy for Communication and Disaster Management School. Isn't that correct?
Right, correct.
Yeah, because like that would have definitely stood well, to you during this whole pandemic. Now you've answered about how in India they've assisted, and even during the religious festivals. So absolutely wonderful to hear all of this taking place. Now you're actually involved in, well, you were involved in technology back in the day too. Did you used to work for IBM? Is that correct at some stage?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, between yourself and your husband, there's great sort of information there, really. Now, okay, so you spoke about Echolink, and I know that's a big issue for you. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you do on Echolink, about your sessions.
Right. Actually, when I was preparing myself for a SOC exam to get my license, amateur radio license, I learned about the digital modes of communication apart from VHF and HF radio. And I found it quite interesting, because soon after receiving my license, I couldn't, I didn't have my radio. So I started to participate in Ecolink Nets, which is run by West Bengal Radio Club and other radio clubs also in India. So I started to participate there, and afterwards, West Bengal Radio Club gave me the opportunity to, introduce myself as a net controller, net operator of WBRC SART Eco VHF net. It's a regular net run by West Bengal Radio Club. So they trained me, and I got the opportunity to work as a net controller, and it has been now 1.5 years. I have been working as a net controller. And as you told about Ecolink, through Ecolink, many people know me now, and many radio clubs are there who calls me, invite me to participate in their special events, like I would mention about Selvamar Noticias, which is a Spain-based radio club, in fact, a magazine. And another is Argentina-based radio club La Rioja, So they invited me, and I have participated in Women's Day, Children's Day special events as a operator, activator with other YL operators. So it was a wonderful experience for me. And another thing is, in Ecolink, in digital modes like Ecolink, you don't have any limitation, which you have in common traditional radio. But in Ecolink, you don't have that limitation, and it's a blending of both internet and radio. So it's much more easy for registration. It's safe, and communication is very easy, accessible. And another thing is, in developing countries like India, where most of the people can't afford the amateur radio equipments. It's very costly, so they can't afford it. For them, Ecolink is very useful to get connected with the stations all over the world. So I would say, yes, I find it very interesting.
Ecolink, ironically, is very close to my heart as well. I'm actually, now, I'm not a major player here, but I am actually an administrator on Ecolink. So,
okay.
it's only, but no, so it is close to my heart as well, and I'm a big supporter of Ecolink. Now, I'm just wondering, what's the structure of licensing in India for amateur radio? Like, do you have multiple tier levels? And maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Actually, in India, we have two kind of license categories. One is general grade, and another is restricted grade. So if you pass the restricted grade exam, you will have the call sign with prefix VU3. And if you pass out the general grade exam, you will get the call sign with prefix VU2. Right? Like I am now VU3, but if I pursue another exam, further exam, and clear that, I can upgrade my call sign from VU3 to VU2. And the entire amateur radio activities is controlled by WPC, Wireless Planning and Coordination, wings of Department of Telecommunication, which is under Ministry of Communication, Government of India. So all amateur radio activities are controlled by them in India. And now it has become very easy to get your license, because now there is a, you can apply through online. There is a website called sharol.government.in. So you can apply online, you can pay the fees, and then appear for exam and get your ticket. So it's very easy now in India.
Brilliant. So do you intend to actually do the next exam up now after this?
Okay, I have to study a lot for that, and maybe next year.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to working you on HF when you do.
Sure. I'm planning to install it soon.
Perfect. Yeah, brilliant. And I suppose now, one of the main things is NRSI is actually planning on having a trip over to India very soon. So we look forward to actually meeting you and your club members in person when we manage to get over there. So hopefully, now we can't say the exact date, but hopefully it'll be very, very soon.
Sure. We would love to host you, and all the members of NRSI are welcome to India. Please let me know if you, yeah. Please go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you'll have to tell me what time of the year is the least warm. I don't sun too well.
Okay, this is very difficult question, because all around the year you can feel the summer vibes in India. Okay, so after, I think if you like to visit the monsoon in hills, so you can visit in July to August. And if after that pleasant weather, you will get pleasant weather after that, in September, October, November, will be fine for you.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Now, the other thing is, I know that a huge aspect of your life has been dedicated to, obviously, charitable work. You've been involved with Obviously, the Jabala Action Research and organisation, and you've also been involved with Save the Children. Maybe you'd like to tell us a little bit more sort of about those two organisations, just to give our listeners a feel for what they're sort of all about.
Sure, sure. Jobala Action Research Organization is a local community-based organization which basically work for child rights and women empowerment. So when I worked over there, I worked with the children of sex workers and the trafficked survivors who are, there are many poor people in the extreme remote parts of India, as well as I'm talking about West Bengal, my state. So there are particularly some district where trafficking is very, very much, I mean, many young girls and adolescents and children get trafficked from those areas to another states for income generation. Okay. Sometimes parents sell them. Sometimes they are traffickers, agents influence them for job or, for in the name of marriage. There are different kind of issues. So the main thing is for different reasons, they are trafficked to another states. So I used to work with these trafficked survivors who were rescued from that place and then worked for their rehabilitation, further rehabilitation. So this is about Jobala. They work in different districts of West Bengal. And after that, I would more like to talk about Save the Children, because I'm currently associated with Save the Children, and I have been working there since 2013. So now it's going to be 9 years now. And Save the Children, basically a child rights based humanitarian organization, which has global presence more than 80 countries in the world. And recently we have completed our centenary celebration. So we have completed 100 years. So it's more than 100 years old organization. And in India, it works in 18 states across the India, and run different projects on basically 5 themes or issues: child protection, child poverty, health and nutrition, education, and disaster management and resilience. So they all are linked. All these themes are linked, but we have different teams, different expert teams to handle these issues in different districts of West Bengal, both in rural and urban areas. And I will, talk about my program. I'm working in a project which is called New Horizons. New Horizons. Okay, so it is an alternative livelihood generation program which was initiated in the year 2008 in the slums of Kolkata, slum areas. And we started this work with the children of domestic workers. I mean, the child domestic workers. So afterwards, in 2017, we expanded our work to rural areas. And now we are working in, remote coastal villages of Sundarban Delta region, where which are extremely disaster prone, poverty driven, and poor. You will find many poor families there. So we are working there for livelihood and skill development of adolescent and youths. And our target group is 18 to 24 years. Okay, so mainly we are dealing with 2 models. In urban, we work for employment model, and in rural, we work for entrepreneurship model. So I will stop here if you have any questions.
Well, basically, I'll say one thing, that what we'll do is we'll put up links or details to our membership as to how they may be able to donate to those charities, because they're very important charities, we believe, extremely sort of urgent to, issues to resolve. And they're a great cause, so they deserve kind of our support from this country. In addition to that, I'd like to thank you, Sangita, for an excellent presentation, very enjoyable. And certainly we hope to, experience having you back again at a later stage to talk about other different topics, as time goes on. But very much appreciate it. And there's one other thing we'd like to do. We'd like to actually offer you honorary life membership within the NRSI.
Okay. First of all, thank you very much. Many thanks to NRSI, to you, to David, and each one of you, each participants who are listening to me for last few hours. And I'm really, I'm feeling really honored and overwhelmed that to accept the honorary membership of NRSI. Thank you very much. And secondly, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my experience, because I'm a very much fresher and newcomer in amateur radio world. So it has been very wonderful for me to share my experience with all of you.
I think, Sangita, you may be new, but you're not giving yourself enough credit. You've done a lot for the hobby over the past while, and more importantly, for all of the good work that you've done for the charities, etc. It's remarkable work. So definitely, on behalf of all of our membership and our listeners and everything, thank you so much for all of that. I suppose I'll open it to the floor for any questions. If anybody has any questions for Sangita, we'll open the microphones now.
I'd like to ask something, if I may.
Oh, please go ahead.
Hi, Sangita. So good to see you. And it's early here in New York on a Sunday, but I'm awake, and that's a good thing. I love hearing about how a person's avocation and vocation come together, as it often can with amateur radio. I think there are a few things more satisfying than being able to blend your interests, your hobbies, and earning a living, which is always a pleasant option. Any thoughts on how more people can do that? For you, it seemed a natural progression, perhaps. How can people rethink their way of doing their lives so that they can incorporate amateur radio a little more into their everyday activities?
Right. Thank you for the question, Karen. Nice to see you and hear you here. Thank you so much. And yes, very important question, I think. So am I audible, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I think the more important thing here is awareness. What I think about India, and especially in my state, West Bengal, I would say that we lack the awareness. Most of the people don't know about amateur radio. What is amateur radio? So if we start to work in collaboration with government, with institutions, academic institutions, schools, colleges, where youth people are there, and also girls are there. So we can do the awareness in collaboration with all the stakeholders. Then it will promote the scope of amateur radio. People will get to know more about it, and youths will come forward, I think, because we have to make people understand that there are many kind of addiction, and youth people are prone to get addicted to so many bad things. So we have to make people understand that if you want to get addicted, then amateur radio is the best option for you. And you can do experiments, you can learn from it, you can do communication all over the world. And moreover, you can do the social work, you know. You can blend your knowledge with social work. You can contribute towards society. So this is the best way, I think, creating awareness. And like I was thinking to speak with the seniors of my organization to, as we are, Save the Children is a humanitarian organization. We respond in emergency situation when disaster come, in any kind of disaster response. So I was thinking to speak with my seniors to, you know, incorporate amateur radio in our organization with any projects which really require this intervention. So I think, so is it, does it answer your question, Karen?
Absolutely. I think that's a good game plan, and I think people just don't consider it an option. They, in fact, a lot of people I know, certainly here in the States, if you tell someone you're an amateur radio operator, they'll say, "Oh, is that still around? Is that still around?" Yeah, yeah. I don't think the ionosphere has gone away, so it's certainly still around. And by the way, I like I like your suggestion that this is a good addiction. An addiction, it certainly is. So Sangita, thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Okay, okay.
Has anyone else any questions for Sangita?
I will, if nobody else can step in there. Hi, Sangita from Pat. Just wondering, which one would you prefer? Would you prefer digital mode or analog mode, or would you have any preference at all on that matter? Just wondering.
Okay. Hi, Pat. Thank you for your question. And as I already mentioned that till now I have explored the Ecolink modes and VHF. I'm on VHF, and I'm planning to install HF. And I would say that as an amateur radio operator, I would love to explore all the available modes, digital and radio, both. I don't have any inhibition regarding this, because you know, in radio you have certain limitation, but in digital mode you don't have any limitation. You reach to any station in all over the world. So I don't have any inhibition regarding this. I would love to explore all the modes, radio, digital, in any kind of digital mode. So there is nothing about it that I like it Ecolink most or radio most. There is nothing like that.
I think that's a very healthy attitude to have. For me personally, I'm still analog. I never ever got into computers at all. I don't know why, even though I worked with them and programmed a lot of stuff down through the years for different in my employment. I never really got into the digital and the analog. More so the analog. Yeah, but that is a very good answer. Thank you, Sangita. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pat.
Back to the floor. Any other questions? This is like a net, Sangita. Everybody's too scared to talk. Pick up the microphone, lads. Are there any other questions? No. Okay. So if there are no other questions, thanks a million, and we're delighted to have had you, for this session, Sangita, and we look forward to talking with you again. And
lovely to meet you. Yeah.
Same here. Same here. Really, thank you very much, each one of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And look forward to work with you all in future.
Absolutely. I look forward to talking to you on Xlink.
Sure. Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Sangita.
Bye.
Thank you very much.